All right, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Got a big day today. Got the boys from Kicking Valentina stopping by. It's always a lot of fun because they are homegrown. They are from the state of Georgia. One of the best bands on the scene in the last three and a half years. Just got back from touring Germany and parts of Europe. They're going to come in and let us know what it's like to be in the band. Be older guys who started a band. Now, let me get their story straight for you. They were always in bands, and they decided to get back together and form a different band as older guys, and it's taken off. They've gotten print from all over the world, all positive, and they're going to be in studio today to tell their story and talk about what it's like to be a dad and a rock star at the same time, which leads me into my first topic today. What do you do when you're at the crossroads of your dream? And what do I mean by that? You're not a young guy, you're not a young lady any longer, but you're an older, let's establish older, 38 and above. How's that? Normally by 38, we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 careers, wife or husband or two, got some kids, and we've tried to figure out what's going on. And it doesn't seem like anything is working. So what do you do? I have a lot of people call me in this shape or in this condition or at that crossroad, and their one question out of their mouth is, what do I do? I feel like it's over. Is it too late for me to dream? Is it too late for me to actually go and get something that I've always wanted? So I took it upon myself last night to write me out a list because I had to go through that too. Now, I had a great career. I was a high school basketball coach. I was doing what I wanted to do. I knew God had called me to do that, but I wanted to do something else. I wanted to do something special. And it took a player of mine passing away to convince me I needed to go do something else, because I always thought I'd go on from high school to be a college coach. I thought that was the rest of my life. Little did I know that one moment in time was going to change the rest of my life. So where are you? Are you one of those older, when I said older, I say that tongue in cheek, over 38. I'll tell you what, I'll move it back, over 35. You're over 35 and you're wondering, is this it? Is this all I've got? If you were like me or several of my friends, you were a road warrior. What's that mean? You got on the plane on Sunday night, Monday morning, you didn't get back home till late Friday night, early Saturday morning. You did your laundry, and then you got back on the plane Sunday night, Monday morning, and did it again. And you did that every single week. That gets tiring, and that gets tiring really fast. And is that fulfilling a dream? Not necessarily. So let me give you the steps. If you feel like you're there, if you want to get this handled, I'm going to teach you how to do this. All right, my first question to everyone, and because I got the guys from Kicking Valentina coming by today, and they did this later in life, and they've done it in a very successful way. My question to you, and they had to ask themselves this question, was, do I have any talent? Let's say you do want to be in a rock band. Let's say that this dream's always been there. You played in one in high school. You figured, what the heck, I'll start one again and see where it goes. Well, it reminds me of a guy I know, Kyle Kruger. He made an independent film this year. It's called Here I Go Again. Let me give you his how to find him. Go to Facebook and then type in Here I Go Again, and it'll come up. Or type in the same Kyle Kruger. Kyle wanted to have one more shot at having a band. So he called all the guys from the original band when they were right out of high school. Pretty good band. Life takes over, so they broke up. And he wanted to put all the original pieces back together. Well, it's a 2-hour movie about the journey. And throughout the journey, he interviews 80s bands, 80s and some 90s bands, of what their lives were like then and now. And he was able to go on some of the tour buses and interview some of my favorite bands. But it's very interesting to see what he went through. And when he would go see the guys, and the guys would be like, hey, man, we're too old. We're too this, we're too that. I didn't really like you anyway when I was in the band with you. But so many of them, their lives have gone over. So you fast forward 30 years. Well, what happened was the two guys that originally started the journey finished the journey. The other guys didn't come along for the ride. But the cool thing was he got several huge metal band guys to fill in, drum, bass, etc. And they were able to go out on the road and they were able to showcase their talent. And they've got a CD if you want to see that. And now they have tour dates. So go to Facebook and look up Here I Go Again. Kyle Kruger is the producer and the talent of that film. It's a good film. I got to go to the premiere here in town. As a matter of fact, I went with the guys from Kicking Valentina. But the film is still showing around the United States. Just go over there and see if it's coming to a city near you. All right, so do you have the talent? Have you gotten your talent evaluated? If you play the guitar, if you sing, if you play the drums, if you play the keyboard, whatever it is, Do you have enough talent to actually do this? It's a good place to start. A lot of acts these days don't have the talent. They're great studio bands because you can mask a lot of problems in the studio that you cannot mask live. So once you figure out, let's say you've got the talent, okay? So you're good. Do you have the mental aspects of it? Hey man, being in a band, being in life, doing anything takes a lot of mental stamina. I was watching last night, Tim Tebow's decided to be a Major League Baseball player, or at least take a shot at it. Now, I'm sure he was a phenomenal baseball player, 12, 14 years ago when he got out of high school. Man, to make it in the majors, you got to have a lot of talent. And I've had several buddies play in the majors, and they all said the same thing. It takes a lot of talent. You go through a lot to do it. So you've got to be able to have the mental side of this. You got to be able to stay focused. Because if you can't stay focused on what it is you really want, and all those bad things come, and people tell you they won't want to hear you, and your album's terrible, and you've got no talent, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to agree with them, or are you going to keep going? Because a lot of people hear that. Because you got to believe in you before everybody else can believe in you. So if you don't believe in you, you're never going to make it. Jim Carrey, another guy that started a little later, decided he was going to make $10 million. Well, he did pretty well. Now his movies have started to taper off, but he did make it. Look at all these other guys. Kip Winger is one I think of. Kip Winger from the group Winger. Great musician, played with Alice Cooper, went out and started his own band, and now he's directing. I think he just appeared Las Vegas Symphony. I know he did something for San Francisco. So now he's writing full scores for movies and for videos. Very talented, had the stamina, stayed focused, and believed in himself. All right, sometimes older means smarter. Okay, you made all the stupid mistakes when you were younger. Now that you've gotten a little older, you've gotten a little smarter, a little wiser, and you understand that maybe that road won't work. And you've been smart enough to get the help of older bandmates, older men, older ladies that have been where you want to be. Because you can't do it without them. Anybody that thinks they're a one-man band is wrong. There's absolutely no way to make it by yourself. So you've gained that road warrior experience over those 10, 15, 20 years. And now you're actually applying the experience that you have. So now that you know you've got the talent, you believe in you, you're going to stay focused. You've gotten a little older and a little smarter. It still comes back to the music or the talent or what it is you do. It's funny. You can do this full circle. But as Vince Neil said one time, and he was talking about Nikki Sixx's writing songs, he could write a hook, and it would hook you right in. And it still comes back to the music. I remember I was with Donny Osmond one night in Atlanta, and he said the same thing. He said, at the end of the day, he said Peter Gabriel had called him and said it was the music, and the music was the only thing that mattered. So when you look at the crossroads of your dream, and can you do it or can you not? Do you have the talent? Do you have the skill set? Are you the best at doing it? Do you have the focus? Do you have the self-belief? And can you stay in the battle long enough to make it? Because it still comes back to the music, man. If you don't have the songs, it ain't going to work. All right, if you got a question for me today, it's questions at scottferrell.com, or you can hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. Don't forget, the great band, home here in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, they are going to stop by Kicking Valentina and let us know what it's like to be a super rock star band and how cool it is to be a dad, a husband, and what it's like to live your dream later in life. I'll be right back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each.
Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5? It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
All right, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you got your coffee or tea and you're ready to go. Hopefully you're not stuck in Atlanta traffic, LA traffic, New York traffic, Detroit traffic, and especially the traffic outside of DC. Man, that is like pothole, it's my version of hell. You got all the pothole, and you can't get around the external part of DC. Been stuck in that traffic way too many times. I got several listeners up there, so thanks so much for being part of our show. If you got a question for me, remember it's questions@scottferrell.com or hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700. Now, a question I get so many times when I'm helping people is, my life's boring. I can't do this anymore. What do I need to do about this? Well, I just talked about if you're at the crossroads of your dream, what do you do? Well, now, how do you unstuck yourself? How do you unboring your life? Well, so many people that come to me, they say they want change, but they don't want to change. So if you don't change, can anything change? I'm going to see how many times I can use change in a sentence here. So how do you unboring your life? Well, there's one movie that sticks in my head that it's stupid. It's kind of silly, but it gets the point across in a hilarious 2-hour method. How's that? Jim Carrey's Yes Man. If you ever thought about having a boring life and you've gotten into that, gosh, if I have to get up one more day and do this one more time, there's no way I can survive this. If I have to look at your face one more time, if I have to go to this job one more time, if I have to drink the same coffee one more time, watch Yes Man. For 2 hours, he had to say yes to every single thing that he was ever asked. Now, naturally, it's a movie, so they didn't ask him crazy things to do. But it is funny, and it does illustrate how quickly we can get caught up in that spiral of day to day to day and lose who we are, lose what we want, lose what we dreamed about, and get into this vortex and get sucked down, and we never come back. So, suggestions. I wrote down a couple. If you've got some too, 706-889-9700. Maybe that you tried, or you can go by Facebook, throw them up on our page, and let the whole world know what you decided to do. All right. First of all, you got to stop and think. Wow, I just asked a lot, I know. If statistics are right, only about 3% think, 1% do something about it. That's very sad. That means 97% are zombies of some sort, wandering around in that day-to-day hell they call life, and they don't change it. So you got to stop and think, what do I want? Can I say that slow enough? What do I want? I know a lot of us have given up on our dreams. When we were kids, they were bashed and stomped on and pushed aside. But here's an opportunity to say, all right, that way's not worked. I am bored to tears. I can't stand this any longer. I don't want to do this anymore. So what do? You stop and think. And then you got a piece of paper and a pen. And you write down what you want. Not what you think you can have, not what you think is available to you, not what your money can purchase. What do you want? I mean, it's easy. I mean, seriously. If you want to get out of a boring life, what do you want? Because until you decide what you want, you're going to keep the boring life. You're going to keep doing the boring stuff, and you're going to keep going to the boring places in the job. What is it? All right, add to that, to change, you got to change. People ask me sometimes, what's the fastest way to change? Change everything you do. All right, if you brush your teeth one way in the morning, change it. If you comb your hair with your right hand, use your left. I mean, I know it sounds kind of crazy. It works in sports. If you go to work one way, pick another. What's that do? It seems so crazy and stupid. I get it. Here's what it does. It forces you to think about something different. It forces you. It's like when I go to the golf course and I'll go to the driving range. I remember this from the movie Tin Cup. He made him wear his hat backward, put a tee under behind his ears, this and that, making him look stupid, but he forgot about what he was thinking about, right? So he had to change what was on his mind. If you change the way you go to work, you got to think. Because now you're not on autopilot anymore. You've really got to think through, all right, where do I turn, where do I go, what's the speed through here, what's the traffic pattern going to be? Changed it up. So instead of going to get coffee here, go over here. Give new people a chance to get to know you. Now, I'm a creature of habit too, and I'm a creature of pattern. And yes, I went back to the same place I always go to this morning. Because everybody knows my name, and they're really friendly, and they love me. Why shouldn't I go back? They make me feel good right before I go on the air. But there's other places I can go, and I do change it up from time to time. But think about your day. It's 8 hours. Let's say it's an 8-hour workday. You go to work a different way. Now, I know some of you living in the burbs. If you're on the 405, if you're on 85, 75, 40, whatever it is, whatever city you're in, I know that can be difficult. So if you got to take the same highway in, that's one thing. Change up a back street that you take, something. And then pick a different coffee shop over there. So you get to work. All right, what's going to be different today? Because you got meetings, you got clients, you got reps. You're going to have the same people there. Instead of going to the bathroom down this hall, go this way. Instead of doing this at this time, change it. Instead of going down to get coffee at this time, change it. Instead of walking to your cubicle this way, walk around the other way or walk into your office. Instead of going out at this time to take a break, go out at this time. Yes, I know it's, what's this guy talking about? But it works. It makes you change what you're thinking about. Let me go over this again. Here's the great thing about thoughts. Thoughts come. We have a little over 800 a minute. I'm sorry, an hour. 800 a minute would be overwhelming. 800 an hour. Okay, that's on the low end. A human has anywhere from 20,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Depends on what report you do and who you look up and who did the research. So let's just go with that. Let's go with it, 800 an hour. So if you got 800 thoughts an hour, and a lot of times they're repetitious because the human has anywhere from 70, 80, 85% of all thoughts that they have are negative. So now you're about 80% of every single thought you have is negative. And normally the negativity is focused on who? You. If you change your pattern of what you're doing, you're forcing your mind to change the pattern of what it's focused on. So all those negative thoughts that you generate in your head and you regenerate and you keep going and you keep swirling around can't stay any longer because now you've got to focus on something different. It's like when you go out to play catch or pick up a new sport or do something differently for the first time. You really have to focus, or you're going to get hit in the face with a baseball or a football or whatever you're throwing. Same thing here. You've got to focus on what you're doing. And just like with me, I have a tendency to listen to the same type of music in my car. It's either opera, jazz, or metal. Yeah, I know they all three go together. How about you? What do you listen to in the car? If you listen to different music, it forces you to, change the way you think. I'll throw on the old school country sometimes because that's what I grew up on. I grew up in the middle of nowhere with Merle Haggard blaring on the radio. That's how I grew up. So if I want to, sometimes that's not something I want to think about, but I'll throw on a song that reminds me of something that was fun from the past. Okay, now I can't think about the day-to-day, and now I can't think about the negative. I'm right back where I was when we were having that good time. So I've changed the trajectory of my thoughts. Also, if you want to unboring your life and you want to really get a good pick-me-up, do something fun on the weekends or when you're off. Not everybody's off on the weekends. Go somewhere, do something new. I live in the city of Atlanta. I have by no way, shape, or form done touristy things here. I've been here almost 20 years. I finally went to the world of Coke 3-4 years ago. That's what people do when they first get here. My son, when he was in high school, he wanted to go to Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock. So we went and did that. And I go to the theater here quite often. But outside of that, I don't even go into the city. I live 40, 50 miles outside the city. And because of traffic, a lot of us don't venture in because it's 2 hours in, 2-3 hours out. That's 5 hours right there. That's not a lot of fun. But on the weekends, you can change it up. Let's say you go to the park every weekend, pick a different park. You go cycling on a weekend, pick a different trail. You go running, pick a different place. You don't go to the movies, go to a movie. The more you change this up, one, it'll make your brain work a little harder. But two, it stops the mundane from creeping into your life. Because what happens when the mundane creeps in your life? You stop dreaming, you stop caring, you stop focusing. Because now you've actually set up your house, your life, your profession to run on autopilot. Okay, that's cool when you've got an 8-hour flight and that autopilot's nice to kick in. But for life, you don't want to snooze through life. How much time do you have in life? No guarantee. So why would you choose to sleep through or sleepwalk through some of the most important part of your life? Yeah. So if you want change, you got to change. When's a good time to do it? Now. Now's a good time to sit down and think and go, all right, my life's boring. I'm sick of this. What am I going to do? All it takes, literally, is a piece of paper and a pen. Write 5 things down that you really want to do. Let's start there. It's very simple. I normally take, 2 days to teach this? I've taught this in, 12 minutes? I can't give you everything, but I've tried to give you something. But if you got a question for me, 706-889-9700 is our text line, goes directly to us. Or you can hit us up at questions@scottferrell.com or go by Facebook, like our page. Let us know what's on your mind. I've got it up now, so if you've got something up, I can read off of it. All right, when we get back, I'm going to go to the mailbag, answer your questions, because at the top of the hour, we're going to have the guys from Kicking Valentina in, and we're going to be talking rock and roll for 1 solid hour. I'll be right back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each.
Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for being with me. I greatly appreciate the time we spend together. All right, I sent the mailbag, but I looked up something on Facebook I wanted to cover real fast. There are two stories. I'm going to cover this one first. College football player eats lunch with autistic boy who was sitting alone. I don't know why that made the news, to be honest. I've been in the world of autism, 26, 27 years. My mentor was one of the top people who helped start a lot of the things that we have now in the public schools. So this was every day. I was a basketball coach. My players always ate with the children who had autism. Apparently this is at Florida State. So when the players saw a young man sitting at the school, the player had gone over to the high school. So I'm sitting alone, so I went over to have lunch with him. I can honestly say in the last two schools that I taught, this was not even an issue. A lot of the kids just sat together. It got less about autism and more about who you were. And if you were completely annoying just as a person, they still weren't going to sit with you. It's funny because the kids even that have autism, if you're annoying, they're still not going to sit with you. Interesting piece. I was wondering why that was news. Now, maybe I'd been in this bubble of people that accepted people with autism, but it's what I did for the last 20 plus years. And this was not a problem when I was around, basically. But this was in Florida, a high school in Florida. So if you want to see the story, you can go to Fox News. All right, here's another story that was brought to my attention as I walked in today. A football coach in Utah has suspended his entire football team for misbehavior. I think it's great. I was that coach. If you disrespected a teacher, if you said something to a kid in the hall, if you were mean to a kid that had a disability, I got a long list of stuff. You weren't going to play for me. And if I was nice enough to let you have the responsibility of wearing that jersey again, because I used to tell them the name on the front is the only one that matters, then they had to pay. Okay, it normally meant running, etc. An apology to the teacher, I'd make them write a note, then go in and apologize, and then volunteer for extra work, and then volunteer because not going to work. Well, this coach, because the kids were bullying kids, disrespecting teachers, not showing up for class, he just suspended the whole team. That's what I'd have done. If everybody's guilty, everybody pays. But also with a team, you have to understand that team has to collect and govern itself. So if I had a kid that wasn't doing what he's had to, I always let the team handle it. Just like in the Army, just like in any other place, being a police officer, anytime you've got a group of guys that depend on each other or a group of girls, sometimes you have to let the team handle it. Now, it sounds like about half that team was guilty of all the infractions. So the coach just suspended them all. Now, will it last all season? No. But it'll last long enough to show a point. I had a kid who thought he was a star. Okay, and he was great. But then I sent him out on the floor by himself one night. There's 5 against 1. How long did you think it took for him to realize he wasn't a star? No, 1 against 5. You say you're great. Why can't you score? Why can't you play D? Why are they dunking on you every time down the floor? I thought you were a great player. So I applaud the coach, but here's my question. How'd they get that far? I didn't have those problems. How in the world do you get that far where you don't know what your kids are doing, you don't know they're in class? Okay, my players were required to sit up front if it wasn't a visual problem. Now, sometimes you got to sit a little farther back. I know with my eyes, sitting up front was not going to be the key to where I needed to be. Respectful, on time, always on time to school, respectful to your mother and father. I had a kid disrespect his mother in front of me. He was suspended immediately. And when I thought he had learned how to be a young man, he got to come back. It's inexcusable. Here's why. We as coaches had a big responsibility because a lot of these kids don't have families. And then the only father figure that they're going to have is us. And then we draw the line of who they're going to be as men a lot of times, or young ladies, because I coach high school girls and boys. But they look to us for guidance. And if we don't provide it, so how in the world did it get so far to where you didn't know they were bullying kids, you didn't know you were skipping class, you didn't know they were doing all these knucklehead things? Now, I'm not saying people don't do knucklehead stuff. When you're in high school, I didn't punish normal, stupid behavior. Okay? I remember how dumb I was in high school. I didn't punish stupid schoolboy stuff. I did punish anything over that line, though. Talking in class. Okay. Look, man, be quiet. We got to get this lesson in. Silly stuff that a normal high schooler would do, it's just part of growing up, man. Sometimes we just laugh about it. But I made it okay to do silly things because you got to break the monotony of school sometimes. But when we got to the court, we didn't have time for silly because we had a job to do. But we had fun. Now, any player that's ever played for me can tell you how tough I was to deal with. But it also the fact that I loved them dearly. And I still keep in touch with a lot of those kids to this day. These kids are in their 30s and 40s now. So I applaud that. I thank you, Florida State player, for sitting with the young kid. The Florida State player's name was Travis Rudolph. So I applaud you for going over and sitting with the kid. Let me go on this before I go to the mailbag. If you see someone with autism, relax. A lot of times they want the same thing you do. They want to achieve in life. They want to have some form of normal life. They want friends. Oh, that sounds pretty normal to me. They want to eat. They may be a little quirky on what they eat and how they eat, but they still want to eat. And they like to feel part of things. I was the safe zone, I guess, for the autism kids. They would come to my class or one of my buddies' class, and they'd hang out with me. And the problem was they thought I are one. Mr. Ferrell, you're just like we are. No, I'm not. It's okay, Mr. Ferrell. You can tell us. If you've got autism too. But then one of them would say, well, Mr. Ferrell, you probably just have Asperger's because you can be a real jerk sometimes. I'd be like, I don't have Asperger's. And then by the time they were done with me at the end of the year, I'm thinking, do I have Asperger's? I don't, but I had so much fun with them. To me, autism's normal. So I struggle with being around these so-called normal people. I'd probably rather be in a special ed realm with those guys. They're a lot more fun. And they like to talk about the same thing I do, music and comic books, and they all like Rush. So they can't be too bad. All right, enough about that. Thanks for permitting that deviation from the show. Now let me get to the mailbag. If you want to be part of the mailbag and you want to ask me a question, there's only one rule. It's got to apply to more than one person, and I'll answer it on the air. All right, how do you do that? Questions at scottferrell.com or hit our text line 706-889-9700. All right, first question out of the gate. I can't use the name because it's a personal question. This young lady has a guy keeps hitting on her at work. What should I do? Okay, when I get a question like this, it means that they didn't want to go out with them. So here's the thing. I can't remember. It's been so long. I don't think anybody's hit on me at work. Definitely not here because there's nobody here to hit on me. But what would I do? Well, one, I think it's a compliment. But two, enough's enough. So apparently this has gotten past, hey, would you date me? So unfortunately, you have to handle this by company line, which means you have to contact your superior. You have to contact HR, or they'll do it for you after you've told this guy no. So make sure you've told the guy no first. The guy may just think you're absolutely fabulous, and he thinks you're the girl for him. Now, again, take the word no, take the hint, and move on, because there's nothing worse than having someone every single day you start to dread work because they want to go out with you so bad and they think you're so perfect. They won't leave you alone, and that's a hassle, and nobody enjoys that. So the best way to do that is contact your boss, make your boss aware if it's gotten to that point, and they'll contact HR, and HR will handle it, and it'll be over. Okay. Normally, that's how most companies handle it. All right, let me get the next one. All right, Dan. I'm not going to say the city in Dan because the question would lead people to know who it was. All right, he's made an observation lately. He's working in a place where the boss treats people unfairly. Okay, apparently the boss, he's listed out some behaviors. He screams at them. He doesn't promote who should be promoted. He just randomly gives raises, et cetera, et cetera. He said, should I speak up? So basically he's wanting to know if he should take the time to say something to the boss. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever seen this happen and it happens in a positive way and the boss goes, oh my gosh, you know, you're right. I'm a jerk. I don't really, I should change who I am. Now, raise your hand really high if you've ever seen this happen and it's ended in a positive note and that person didn't end up fired. Yeah, me either. I did. I stood up for a kid one time in a school and the principal was wrong. I was no longer ranked at school the very next year. Actually, I've done it twice. Both times I got transferred. Anytime you see this happen, here's the problem. The boss doesn't care. The boss is not a very good person anyway. So if you're working for somebody who screams and hollers, is moody, gets mad at anything, starts handing out raises, whoever they feel like, hires and fires. It sounds like the car business a lot of times because the owner will come in a bad mood on Friday and fire half the staff. I can't tell you how my buddies have told me this type of story. So should you speak up if you have another job? Probably. I've spoken up every time because I didn't think it was fair. If you're gonna label somebody, if you're gonna say something, you're gonna treat somebody that way, I'm not gonna stand back and watch. And now I own my own company, and I definitely don't treat people that way. And my employees always have the right to come to me and go, look, man, you're being a jerk. Stop it. Because I normally have an assistant that has carte blanche to say whatever they want to me. And my wife works with my company, so you can imagine how that goes. Yes, dear. You're right, dear. Yeah, I don't even get to argue that point. All right, if you got a questions at scottferrell.com or hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700. In about 15 minutes, the guys from Kicking Valentina are going to pop into the studio. Sit down. We're going to talk rock and roll, fatherhood, and why you should always, if you have the talent, follow your dream. I'll be right back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each.
Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate the time that we spend together. It always seems to go by so quickly. My friend Frank Shankwitz, founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. I was going through Facebook today, and he threw up a post. And since I know Frank's past, this really does ring true. I've never met a strong person with an easy past. Frank took it upon himself as a highway patrol officer in Nevada to start Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's amazing what that foundation has become, all because Frank took the time to take his past and create a future for so many people and answer so many dreams. So Frank, thank you so much for being part of that. Also, go by bluelivesmatter.blue. My buddy Randy Sutton is the head spokesperson for Blue Lives Matter. We hear so much in the media about Black Lives Matter. Why don't we help the Blue Lives Matter? And that's bluelivesmatter.blue. All right, let me get back to the mailbag. Now remember, if you got a question for me, 706-889-9700 is our text line. Our next question. All right. This is a dilemma for me, so I'm glad somebody asked this question. Okay, they've been invited over to a friend's house for dinner. Okay, but the host has pets, and those pets have lots of hair. And this individual says, "I don't like to get hair on my clothes. How do I decline gracefully?" I went out with a girl one time, and the caveat here, story, but I went out with a girl one time, and I walked in her house, and I said, "Wow, what a really cool couch." And I walked over, and I noticed she had like 3 or 4 cats, and she was pretty enough to where I stuck around. And this was 30 years ago. And I sat down, and I was like, I just thought this was like a Southwestern themed couch. It was cat hair. So it was funny. I stayed at her place for about 2 hours because I'm sitting there going, "Oh, she's really pretty. I can do this. No, I can't do this. The hair's all over my clothes. Oh my gosh, she's really pretty. I can do this. No, the hair's over my clothes." So I went back and forth, and she goes, "Why don't you sit down?" I said, "No, my back's hurting. I think I'll just stand." So I kind of circled her apartment for 2 straight hours. And finally, my feet started to hurt. And I finally goes, "Wow, look at the time. Wow, fast. Please go fast, clock. So I said, I got to get up early tomorrow. I got to go. I did go out with her a couple more times, but we met out at a restaurant or something. But I couldn't do it. So how do you do it gracefully? Wow, is there a graceful way to do this? I've got friends that do this, and I can't go over their houses because I'm an anti-hair person. We have a cat, but we keep the hair contained. I just can't do it. Just you can't tell them the truth, and here's why. And I'm real big on the truth, but not here, because you'll lose friends over this, because people's pets are their family. And just because the hair doesn't bother them because they love them. I mean, I get it. You love your pet. But not everybody likes to have hair on their clothes. Look at me. I wear black all the time. How in the world do you think that goes over when I go over to somebody's house that has a huge pet with lots of hair? It doesn't. So do you decline? Sometimes I still go over to my friend's house because I love my friends. And I end up playing with the dog, even though I kind of do it at arm's length. Give it a shot. That's what I would say. Give it a shot. And if you're like me and you have to stand up for 3, 4, 5 hours just because she's really, really ridiculously pretty, then you need to rethink either your friendship or how you're going to handle this. But give it a shot. I mean, pets are pets. I love dogs and kitties. I'll end up playing with them. I'll go, I don't want the hair on me, and I end up playing with them for 2 hours. And then they end up wanting to jump in my lap and me hold them. It always works that way. What have I done? I've started to wear light-colored shorts. I still wear my black T-shirt, but outside of that. So is there a good way to do this? Not really. No, you can look up how to do it for Miss Manners if you want to. Go on Google and look up ways to refuse invitations to people's homes who have hairy pets. There's not a graceful way to do this, because if someone invites you to their home, they already know you. And they know your idiosyncrasies, and they know your weirdness, and they know who you are, and you know theirs. Sometimes you just tell them the truth. I've had buddies that had dogs. I ended up telling them the truth. You know what they did? They put a towel down so I could sit down. So you got 2 ways to handle this. Lie, not go. Actually, there's 3. Or tell them the truth. Which one are you going to do? Don't do like me. Don't go over because she's still ridiculously pretty and stand up for 3 hours. Okay, your feet start to hurt after a while. All right, let me get to the next one. All right, here's a good one. Vanessa's from Atlanta. All right, trying to escape the negativity in my life. So she got a lot of negative interfering with the positive. All right, what are some recommendations to get rid of the negativity? Get rid of some of your friends. Yeah, I said that tongue in cheek, but I also mean it. What's bringing the negativity? One, turn off the TV. There's been a lot of stuff on Facebook lately, my buddies especially putting it, to turn off the boob tube, get off the negativity, don't watch the news. Stay away from all the external. I mean, you got enough negativity just in your life of driving to work, going to work, your family, your husband or wife, your kids if you have them, and everything that goes with that. Much less adding to. You know, if you were at a speaker, a guru of motivation and everything, they would tell you to look at your 5 friends. You're the sum total of all your 5 friends. Okay, we all get that. But are you willing to do what it takes to get rid of the negativity? And a lot of times it really is people that we see on either a day-to-day, week-to-week, or month-to-month basis. It's either our friends or our family. We've all got that family member that can bring a whole heaping barrel full of negativity into our lives at any time. Sometimes it's our own parents. Sometimes it's our own mothers. Don't be around them. If you truly want to get rid of all the negativity in your life, then get rid of it. Get it. Stop and think, and then be willing to take action. Because thinking does nothing without action. I remember one time I had a whole group of friends I didn't need to be around. This was a long time ago. They all did drugs. Again, I was the leader of this. I couldn't hang around with them. I didn't even go back and say goodbye. I decided to stop doing drugs, got my life cleaned up, found Christ, and I never went back to say goodbye. I knew I hit that crossroads, as I say, and I had to make a change, and I made that change. And I moved all my stuff, and never went back and said goodbye. I had to do that for my own sanity, for my own well-being, and to be able to make it in my life. Now, throughout my life now, I've had to trim people that weren't good for my life, that were negative, that repetitively just got in my way. We evolve as people. We mature, we grow. and then we move people out of the way. You got to do it. If you don't do it, you're never going to get past where you are. Okay, I left this here for a reason. Okay, this can cause a lot of issues. This, you can be on 24/7, and you become zombie-like if you're on it all the time. Why would you want to do that? Okay, you don't have to answer every call. Not everybody on Facebook's got to know everything you're doing it all the time. Not everybody's got to talk to you immediately. I don't ever answer my phone. It goes to voicemail. I'm always in the middle of doing something else. I'll call you back, but I'll call you back. Texts don't have to be done 24/7. I see people texting in their car all the time. And you wonder why there's so much negativity. And you see people on Facebook all the time. And you wonder why there's so much negativity. And you see people that are inundating themselves with the news, more news. Got to have more news. And I tried to watch a football show the other night on ESPN. And they end up talking about the election. They end up talking Colin Kaepernick. They end up talking about race relations. I'm like, stop. I just wanted to know what the rankings were for the football season. College football starts this weekend, man. I'm ready to go. That's all I wanted to see. I didn't want to talk about politics. There's a reason why a lot of times I don't cover a lot of politics on my show. It's stressful. I try to cover the things that are fun. So if you want to get the negativity, get rid of some people, man. They got to go. Change what you do every single day. I talked about changing your life. If you want to make it unboring, get rid of some stuff, some people. Change the way you do things. Change what you listen to. Change what you see. If it goes in here, it's going in here. And if it goes in here, it's going to stay. People call me all the time. I'm so stressed out, man. Okay, how much of it's self-induced? How much of it's created by you? How much are you generating on a minute-by-minute basis? How much are you on this? How much are you using this? What are you doing on it? Like the girl I saw the other day at the grocery store. Fun things always happen to me at the grocery store. I tapped her on her shoulder. Are you doing $1 million deal? No. Hang up! I'm trying to get through the grocery line, and I'm tired of you and your life not getting me through there. I've been standing here for 15 minutes. No, well, you can probably guess where I was because there were no other lines open. What's so important? Now, this person's probably going to end up on multiple medications, can't figure out what's wrong with them, can't figure out why her husband left her and why her kids hate her. Same reason. Focus on priorities. So if you want the negative to turn into the positive, it's what you bring in. So if you want no more negative, bring in positive. So instead of listening to the negative news, listen to positive things that reflect what you want. All right, enough about that question. As it's clear, I've run out of time. All right, if you want to hit us up on the text line now with a question, or if you want to ask the guys from Kicking Valentino a question, 706-889-9700. Or if you got a question, questions@scottferrell.com. All right, when we get back, when the camera hits again, Heber and Chris from Kicking Valentino will be here. Joe and Jimmy could not make it. However, there's 4 guys in the group, 2 going to be here. You don't want to miss what they've got to say about being in a rock band and probably just making the most out of their dream at this time in their lives. I'll be right back.